Shameful. Duke and Duchess pretending to care about veterans for publicity. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. It looks like the gruesome twosome are still trying to pretend to be American royals. Of course, there is no such thing, but apparently they are still trying to make it happen. So as part of being fake royals, of course they have to show up to ribbon-cutting ceremonies. As the Daily Mail is reporting, Harry and Meghan wear poppies as they pay tribute to U.S. veterans at Navy SEALs facility in San Diego ahead of Armistice Day. First of all, who does Meghan think she is wearing a red poppy? After the way she spit in the faces of the late Queen and her whole family, Meghan Markle has no respect whatsoever for veterans. I mean, come on. Let's remember what happened when Harry was supposed to attend a remembrance event for soldiers. Meghan convinced him to ditch those soldiers, the veterans, so that he could attend the Lion King premiere with her. This is not a woman who cares one iota about veterans. But there she was at the event, front and center as always, because if she's going to show up somewhere, she's going to be front and center. And according to a body language expert, Meghan was overcompensating with that rictus grin on her face. As reported in the Mirror, according to the body language expert Judy James, Prince Harry didn't seem happy as met veterans and their families, unlike his smiling wife Meghan Markle. Of course, Meghan and Harry were invited to downtown San Diego, where they spent the morning with the United States Navy SEALs for the official opening of a new training facility. Harry stood unsmiling as they listened to speeches of the ribbon-cutting ceremony, while Meghan overcompensated with her smiling. It is interesting, isn't it, how every single time the two of them go out, whether it's something that's supposed to be just for fun, like attending a Beyoncé or Katy Perry concert, or doing something that's supposed to be fake official royal work, like going to a ribbon-cutting ceremony, Meghan is always walking around like a lunatic with a Cheshire Cat smile on her face, and Harry is standing there looking like somebody just told him that his dog died. I mean, so what I wonder is, what exactly is Meghan telling Harry behind closed doors? What is she saying to him? I mean, she has to realize that it doesn't look good. She's walking around looking like he is her captor. I mean, that is the way that it looks in these photos. So does she punish Harry for not doing a good job of acting happy, or is this all a part of the game they're playing with the press? Well, body language expert Judy James seems convinced that it is Meghan who has all the power in that relationship. She talked about Meghan waving to the crowd as she joined in with the ceremony, and at one point she had to usher Harry forward because he was awkwardly hanging back from the group. Judy said Meghan's body language behavior here looks overcompensatory, the kind of emphatic smiling and beaming a parent might do if their child is in a sulk or being difficult. She also suggested that Meghan and Harry seemed to be distant at the ceremony. Well, I bet that was what was going on. Baby Harry was being difficult. He was pouting. So Mommy Meghan had to step in and help him, give him some encouragement. That relationship is so disturbing. And I swear it's like the two of them are trying to advertise that fact by parading around in front of us, really showing off their dysfunction for the whole world to see. And why was Harry so upset anyway? I thought this was the kind of event that he wanted to do. I thought he actually cared about service people, or at least claims to. Look, I understand why he looked so miserable at those concerts. He didn't want to be there. I mean, who would want to be there with Meghan? But this event, I don't know. I mean, he could have at least pretended to be happy to be there for the veterans. But it looks like pretending to be happy was just too much work for Harry. The expert goes on to say their double-act closeness seems to have been ditched for a moment too, with Meghan walking ahead enthusiastically, while Harry pauses to look back, looking reluctant to smile the same way. It even takes a rather emphatic back touch and steering gesture from Meghan to get him to come to the front as he stops to chat to the hosts. Wow, okay, so at this point, Harry can't even decide who he wants to talk to. He doesn't even have control of his own movements. Meghan's going to be pushing him around, literally. I also love the way Judy described Meghan enthusiastically walking in front of Harry. That is one way to put it. I mean, what a domineering psychopath. Judy also pointed out how Harry even stands behind Meghan in the lineup when she beams in the spotlight. And he also uses a barrier gesture, placing his arm up to hold his jacket together, and then rubs his hands together in what looks like a signal of inner anxiety. At this point, I am convinced that the both of them have completely lost the plot. They don't even understand how they're coming across right now. I mean, they think they're out there getting some good publicity, but they're not. They're just making themselves look completely bonkers. I mean, Harry is out there like some kind of prisoner, and Meghan is like the warden who couldn't be happier to be there, although the happiness is so incredibly phony that it just comes across as scary. I can only assume that this event was another one arranged by WME, because obviously this is 100% Meghan calling the shots. Now, I know Harry never calls the shots in anything they do, but think back to when he was in Tokyo and Singapore. He was thrilled to be there. So I don't believe that Harry's misery has anything to do with the actual event. I think that he would be okay with being there to support the veterans. But see, I don't think it was Harry's choice to be involved in this event, and that's why he's so miserable. And, on some level, I really don't blame him. I suspect that sometimes the guy just wants to sit at home and play his video games. But Meghan is still not ready to let go of her Hollywood dream, so she's going to push him to go out there with her because she's realized that she doesn't get any good publicity when she goes out by herself. And apparently Meghan thinks that it's good enough if Harry just comes with her. It doesn't matter if she has to force him to and if that much is obvious. Now, there was an awkward moment where Meghan gestured for Harry, and Judy talked about that too, saying it's a steering, ushering gesture that was very public and very emphatic, just as Harry had stopped to talk to someone. It's normal, and only if totally necessary, to get close and use a subtle touch that no one else can see. But this big gesture implied an almost paternal dominance, openly moving and ushering him along like PRs tend to do on the red carpet. It can be a sign of someone flexing their power muscles too. Harry should feel absolutely humiliated after that show, but he probably doesn't. At this point, I think he's so beaten down, he's so used to it, he doesn't even know up from down anymore. I think at this point, he's just so miserable in his life with Meghan that he wants to get out, but where is he gonna go? It would be great if Harry had a family he could return to, but oh, wait a minute, he already trashed them thoroughly in a docuseries, a book, a lot of interviews. So for that reason, it's very hard for me to feel sympathy for him. Even if Meghan has been calling the shots in everything they have done since they got together, which is likely, Harry still went along with it. Maybe he wasn't the one coming up with all these evil plans, but he certainly went along with every single one. When burning all the bridges back to his family, he had to have realized that meant he couldn't go back to them if he ever needed them. Now, maybe eventually we will find out that Harry was trapped in this narcissistic relationship that he couldn't get out of, that he was brainwashed, that he truly did lose himself, and maybe he'll express remorse for that. But I kind of doubt it. I believe that Harry's been a 100% willing participant in all this. I think that he always had these complaints about his family. He always felt like he was treated as second best, and Meghan encouraged him to just let it all out. Well, after seeing what has happened since letting it all out, maybe he should have kept some of that in. But the problem with sharing family secrets to the whole world and making up lies about one's family is, once you do all that, you can't take it back. And you, what do you think of the relationship between Meghan and Harry? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and share it with anyone else who would like it too. And if you're interested in supporting our channel even more, and don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.